everyone, welcome back to Eric's Everyday Watches. As always, if you like this video, if you find it helpful, please do me a favor, hit the like button and consider subscribing. And here it is. The watch we're looking at today, my friends, is the Citizen Garrison model BM8560. You can pick this watch up online at Amazon, and you can either pick it up for $179 from the Amazon UK store, or you could pay $300 and pick it up from the Amazon US store. It is the exact same watch. Now, if you want the one with that titanium bracelet, you could pick it up for $187 from the Amazon UK store with the blue dial, and that is going to be model BM8560-88LE. Or you could pick it up for $340 from the Amazon US store with the black dial, and that is going to be model BM8560-53E. Now this case is made out of a material that Citizen refers to as super titanium. Now you may be thinking, what is super titanium? Well, it's titanium which has a hard coating of Duratec applied to it. And it's estimated that this is applied to 20 or 30 microns deep. Now keep in mind, it is still possible to scratch a watch with super titanium, and I've read some comments online from people who unfortunately have done just that. The main benefit to titanium is that it's as strong as steel, but weighs about half as much. Now, in my everyday use of this watch, I found myself more than once a little surprised when I actually picked it up and I felt the weight of it, or actually the lack of weight when I went to put it on. The metal is slightly darker in color than your typical stainless steel watch, but not quite what I would call gunmetal gray. The case is 90% brushed finished, with only the top of the bezel being a polished finish. You know, as I handle more and more watches, this is quickly becoming my preferred combination because it still provides a little shiny bling to be dazzled by, but it greatly cuts down on the amount of fingerprints. I would say the brushed finish on this watch is equal to what I've seen on a Tissot watch. The actual direction of the brushing is almost indecipherable. The edges and corners of the top of the case have been nicely rounded off and are smooth to the touch. The inside edge of the lug is not nearly as smooth. And surprisingly, the bottom of the case, it is actually sharp. I would say it is as sharp as a Vostok watch. It is that sharp. I would not at all be surprised if this edge was sharp enough to cut a block of cheese. If you've seen my Vostok video, you know what I'm talking about. The screw-down case back is also titanium and lists the watch as having 100 meters or 330 feet of water resistance. The movement inside is Citizen's Echo Drive. That is the E101 movement and is rated at plus or minus 15 seconds per month. Once it's fully charged, this watch will continue to run for approximately 6 months. This watch also has an insufficient charge warning, meaning when the second hand will start to move in 2-second intervals to indicate when the battery is low and needs to be charged. The watch will stop functioning in about a week if it is not placed in the light to charge. The crown is 6.5 millimeters in width and 4 millimeters in depth, making it easy to grab and pull. This is not a screw-down crown. The first position adjusts the day and the date function. There are both English and Spanish languages. The second position adjusts the time. This watch is part of Citizen's Avion series. Avion happens to be the Spanish word for airplane. During my everyday use of this watch, I found the day and the date difficult to read. The text is a white on a black background, and while it fills the day and date window, the text is just not bold enough to be easily legible. And on Sunday, the text is red, providing even less contrast and legibility. The dial on this watch is a flat green color, which in the indoor light appears a dark green-grayish color, and when exposed to direct sunlight takes on more of an emerald green tone. The outer rim has a series of concentric circles, which oftentimes reads more as one large darker green area than actual individual circles. Perhaps spacing them slightly further apart would have helped to define them more. The Arabic numbers and markers appear to be applied, but they really lack much depth, and it could easily be assumed they were simply printed on. The dial has a very clean and uncluttered look to it, only including 8 numbers on its face. This simple and orderly aesthetic was one of the reasons this watch originally sparked my interest. The pencil-shaped hands are outlined in white, providing good contrast and legibility against the dark green dial. Both the hands and Arabic numbers, as well as the markers at the 3, 6, 9, and 12 positions, are illumined and have a green glow to them. The color combination of the dial is another reason why this watch stands out in my opinion. The dark green dial, the light yellow Arabic numbers and markers outlined in white, and the white colored hands all seem to work together. Now add in the white minute ticks on the chapter ring and a pop of orange color that appears at every 10-minute tick, and now you start to have something. I think that pop of orange pairs extremely well if you choose this watch with the leather strap option. The leather strap is a caramel brown color. It's 22 millimeters wide at the lugs and 5 millimeters thick. It tapers down to 19.5 millimeters wide and 3 millimeters thick at the last adjustment hole. There's white contrasting stitching running the length of the strap, and the sides of it are blackened out. You know, this feels like a real quality strap. It is nice and soft when holding it in your hands, and there's a slight cushioning feel when pushing down on the strap in between your fingers. In everyday use, I found this to be very comfortable, and I had absolutely no issues with it. Now, originally, I would have said the perfect fit for me was in between 1 or 2 adjustment holes. But after wearing this watch for less than a week, I think the leather strap actually stretched a millimeter or 2, and now it feels like I have a perfect fit at the 3rd adjustment hole. Personally, this is one of the reasons why I prefer a leather strap over a metal bracelet. You know, especially if that metal bracelet does not come with micro adjustments. Now online, I did read some comments from people who thought the leather strap was stiff, but that was simply not my experience. You know, the metal buckle on this is signed and it does match the titanium case. As far as specs, this watch is made out of super titanium. It has a sapphire crystal. It comes with the EcoDrive E101 movement. The diameter is 42 millimeters. The thickness is 11 millimeters. There's a lug width of 22 millimeters and a lug-to-lug distance of 48.5 millimeters. This watch also comes with a 5-year warranty. So let's recap the pros and cons of this watch. For pros, I am listing the sapphire crystal. The fact that it has a combination of finish with brushed and polished on the titanium case. It is a solar watch using Citizen's EcoDrive E101 movement. I think the color combination of the dial is spot on. It's very easy to tell the time, and I personally found the leather strap to be very comfortable. Now for cons, I absolutely need to point out the sharp edges on bottom of the case. I think that is unacceptable from an established company like Citizen. I found the day and date to be difficult to read, and I thought the Arabic numbers lack depth. They should have been thicker, and the concentric circles don't stand out enough. This has been Eric from Eric's Everyday Watches, reminding you, buy the watch that you love. And don't pay any attention to what anybody else says or thinks. This is your watch collection. If you like this video, if you find it helpful in any way, please do me a favor and hit the like button and consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next video.